It is the weekend that really leads to those CPI numbers being supported. Where is it going now?
Yeah, I think the big driver is still going to be the spread between US and Japanese yields, which actually has been coming down lately this week because US yields have been weighed down by global fears of recession. If you look at the Eurozone data yesterday, that actually was a big trigger. The PMI data came in worse than expected. That triggered Euro yields to weaken. They took US yields with them, and hence the spread between Japanese and US yields actually narrowed. And as a result of that, you're seeing dollar yen basically come off its highs. So moving forward, I think in the near term, the big drivers could be what that spread does. Does it widen or narrow further? And obviously, what do equities do? Do they weaken, which would be dollar yen more negative, should be support the yen, or do actually equities try and actually rally?
Now, we've got a very data-heavy week in Japan next week. Anything in there that might change the picture?
Yeah, actually, funding, it's not even Japan data, I think, will be the mover. It's actually going to be the Euro and the US data. In Europe, you have CPI data. And again, remember, look at the connection yesterday. Eurozone yields moved. They took US yields with them, and hence the spread widened. So Eurozone CPI will be very important, how yields react to that. And in the US, you have PCE data and ISM data. So obviously, the PCE data is a measure of inflation, how yields react to that. And then the ISM data will be key for how is the underlying performance of the US economy going? How strong is it? Because that will feed into the idea of, is the US going to have a recession in the near term, or is actually the economy looking quite strong and can weather the interest rates? If the economy is looking strong, then the case could certainly be that US yields will go higher, because the Fed will say, look, the economy is performing well, we definitely have a foundation to hike rates.